The tyranny of noise and the collapse of public courtesy. I am extraordinarily sensitive to noise. This is not a confession of weakness. It is a statement of fact, like saying I have brown eyes or that water is wet. What has become clear to me after years of living in various neighborhoods, apartments, and supposedly civilized spaces is that my sensitivity is less a personal affliction than a diagnostic tool. I am the canary in the coal mine, except the mine is society and the gas is other people's noise. And yes, I remember what Hannibal Lecter said. Rudeness is epidemic. He was right. Noise is moral failure, not mere annoyance. There is accidental noise, a dropped dish, a car backfiring, a dog barking at a passing stranger. These things happen. They are regrettable but forgivable because they are brief and unintended. Then there is sustained voluntary noise, the kind that requires decision after decision after decision to continue inflicting on others. This is the category that matters. This is where morality lives. When someone allows their car stereo to rattle windows for 20 minutes in a parking lot, they are making a choice every second not to turn it down. When someone lets their dog bark for 3 hours straight, they are choosing, minute by minute, not to intervene. When someone sets off fireworks at 1 a.m. in a residential neighborhood, they are choosing to wake hundreds of people because their desire for spectacle outweighs everyone else's need for sleep. Prolonged noise is not an accident, it is a statement. And the statement is this: I do not care about you. The barking dog problem. Let me be clear about dogs. I like dogs. Dogs are innocent. Dogs bark because they are bored, anxious, territorial, or inadequately trained. Dogs do not understand that their barking travels through walls and ruins someone's ability to work, think, or rest. Their owners do understand this, or they should. A dog that barks nonstop is not expressing its natural dogness in some rural idyll where the nearest neighbor is a half-mile away. It is trapped in a yard or apartment, neglected, and transformed into an instrument of torture for everyone within earshot. The owner has decided that their convenience, not having to train the dog, not having to walk it, not having to engage with it, is more important than the sanity of dozens of neighbors. This is not pet ownership. This is outsourcing your responsibilities to the public soundscape. In the country, a barking dog is part of the ambient texture of space. In a dense neighborhood, it is a weapon. Context matters. Ignoring context is the first move of the antisocial. The cult of the car stereo. There is a particular species of human who sits in a parked car with the stereo cranked so high that the bass physically vibrates the metal, the ground, and every object within 50 feet. They sit there, engine off or idling, doing nothing, just marinating in decibels. This is not about music, this is about dominance. Low-frequency sound is physically invasive in a way that higher frequencies are not. It penetrates walls. It resonates in your chest cavity. You do not just hear it, you feel it. And you cannot escape it without leaving your own home, which is precisely the point. The person in the car has effectively colonized your space with their preferences. What are they announcing? That they exist, that they take up room, that your comfort is irrelevant to their self-expression. They are marking territory, and the territory is your nervous system. Fireworks and the myth of communal celebration. I will grant you early evening fireworks on the 4th of July or New Year's Eve. Fine. Tradition has some claim on us, and if you wrap it up by 10 p.m., I can live with it. But the people who set off fireworks at midnight, at 1 a.m., at 2 a.m., in a residential neighborhood where children and elderly people and shift workers are trying to sleep, these people are not celebrating anything. They are performing aggression. The sound of a firework at close range is not festive. It is bomb-like. It triggers fight or flight responses. It wakes infants. It panics veterans with PTSD and pets who have no framework for understanding why the sky is exploding. And again, location matters. If you live on a ranch in Montana, knock yourself out. If you live in a neighborhood where houses are 15 feet apart, you are detonating explosives in a shared space without consent. That is not freedom. That is vandalism with a fuse. Public swearing and acoustic aggression. This one will sound prim, so let me clarify. I am not offended by swearing. I swear. Swearing is a useful linguistic tool for emphasis, humor, and catharsis. What I object to is loud, performative swearing in public spaces where it cannot be avoided. If you're on a subway platform screaming fuck every third word at top volume, you are not expressing yourself. You are forcing everyone around you to participate in your emotional state. You are conscripting strangers into your rage or frustration or whatever it is you are broadcasting. Volume is the issue. A muttered "God damn it" when you drop your keys is human. A bellowed tirade that fills an enclosed space is aggression. It is sonic intrusion. And it signals the same thing all the other noises signal. You believe your internal experience is more important than the collective peace. Sensitivity versus responsibility. Here is where someone always says, "You're just too sensitive." Fine. Let us say I am. Let us say my threshold for noise is lower than average. Does that mean I am wrong to expect others to modulate their behavior in shared spaces? No. It means I notice sooner what everyone will eventually notice if the trend continues. Sensitivity is often just early perception. The canary dies first because it is more sensitive to gas, but the miners are still in danger. A healthy society does not mock the vulnerable for having limits. It adjusts to accommodate those limits because today it is me who cannot handle the barking dog, and tomorrow it is you who cannot handle the construction at 6 a.m., and the day after that it is someone else who cannot handle the neighbors fighting. We all have breaking points. Civilization is the agreement to stay well below them. And frankly, even people with high noise tolerance benefit from quieter environments. They just do not realize it because they have normalized chaos. Rudeness as the operating system. Hannibal Lecter's line about rudeness was an aside, a piece of anthropological observation from a fictional cannibal psychiatrist, but it has stuck with me because it names something real. Modern life rewards attention-seeking. Loudness equals presence. Presence equals relevance. If you are not heard, you do not exist. So people blast music, rev engines, shout into phones, let dogs bark, set off fireworks, because all of these behaviors say, "I am here. Notice me." The problem is that noticing them is mandatory. Their existence is forced on you, and they face no consequences for this imposition because we have collectively decided that personal expression trumps communal responsibility. Technology has made this worse. Amplifiers, subwoofers, phones with external speakers, all of it allows people to project themselves farther and louder than ever before. And because the tools exist, people use them, often without considering whether they should. Noise is the easiest way to assert yourself without having to justify your presence. You do not need to be interesting, talented, or kind. You just need to be loud. The right to uninterrupted thought. Silence is not a luxury. It is not an aesthetic preference. It is a condition for thinking, for resting, for being human in a way that is not constantly reactive. When you cannot escape noise, you cannot escape stimulation. And when you cannot escape stimulation, you cannot reflect, process, or recover. You are kept in a state of low-grade emergency, perpetually interrupted, perpetually invaded. This is not about being fragile. This is about having boundaries, and boundaries are the foundation of respect. I am not asking for the world to tiptoe around me. I am asking for the baseline expectation that people will not inflict unnecessary noise on others for extended periods of time. That is not a high bar. That is the bare minimum of social consideration. And if being upset about this makes me an asshole, then I will wear the label. But I think the real assholes are the ones who have decided that their impulses matter more than everyone else's peace. Civilization begins where unnecessary noise ends.